Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of The Perception Diet, and today I want to talk to you about why embracing your deepest humanity is the key to expressing your highest divinity. Alright, so essentially what I have for you today is a radical concept that I want you to just consider and then try out for yourself and see what happens. Because what I'm about to say is probably something that, well, like maybe you've heard it before and maybe other people are saying it and I just don't know. But it might also just be something that's completely, that you've never heard before and never considered before, and that your mind might automatically just want to reject. And so what I'm just saying is, just take a minute, just consider it, let it resonate with you for a little bit, and try out what I'm about to say, the practical application of this, and see what it does in your life. Okay? So, the concept that I want to give you right now is this. Most people in the spirituality world, in the self-help world, even in the diet world, and the diet industry, and fitness, and da-da-da-da-da, there's this common understanding that we have like two parts to our being. We have this humanity part that is capable of evil and bad and self-sabotage and hurting other people and selfishness and all these ugly emotions and all of the things that we think are bad about us, essentially. We have this part of us and we call that our humanity, right? The human characteristics. And then we have our divinity, right? The part of us that is capable of loving and generosity and seeing something outside of ourselves and taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves, and like the part of us that is able to love us and this divine angelic part of us, right? And in basically every mode of thinking, and basically every religion, every government, every system that's at play, New Age, traditional religion, it doesn't really matter, everyone is saying the same thing. You've got this bad part of you that you need to fight, and that you need to get rid of, and that you need to suppress, and that we need to subdue, and you have this divine part of you that you need to live as, right? And essentially what they're saying is this human part needs to be rejected. This humanity needs to be denied, suppressed, subdued, it needs to be like trained and disciplined, and some people say you can get rid of it altogether. Some people say you will just live with it for the rest of your life and fight it. It will be like your carnal instincts, blah, 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 blah. But essentially they're all saying the same thing, that there are two parts of you, the good part and the bad part. And you have to get rid of the bad part. You have to subdue the bad part. And that's the only way you're going to be happy or healthy or get what you want, like if you're positive thinking all the time, right, in the New Age movement. If you're living in your light and you're living in your divinity, you'll be blessed, you'll have all this stuff. Everything will go right for you, bad things won't happen to you, you will be able to love yourself. In religious context, you'll go to heaven. In governmental context, you'll be taken care of and good, like you'll get money and you'll be on the side of the majority and everyone will love you and all this stuff. Doesn't, like I say, if we really look at it, you can see that it's the same all across the board. It is the exact same thinking that is essentially like in every system that exists right now on the planet. And so just for a second, I want you to just consider that it is this mindset, that there's a bad part of you and a good part of you, that literally runs every system that exists on the planet right now. And now I want you to consider, how is this working for us? This mindset that we have an evil part of us, is it working? Is it working in religion? Is it working in your New Age spirituality? Is it working in government? Is it working in any of this? Is this idea actually making this world a better place? Or could it possibly be that it is this fundamental idea that we have a bad part of us that needs to get, that we need to get rid of, or that we need to somehow suppress or subdue or whatever? Could it be that it is this idea that is causing all the problems that we see in the world? That it is this belief that we have something wrong and bad about us that causes us to behave in ways that we do, where we hurt ourselves and we hurt each other. So what I want to propose is this. What if you were to look at your deepest humanity as one and the same with your highest divinity? That there is no separation between your humanity and your divinity. The only reason that your humanity drives you to do self-destructive or externally destructive things is because you are fighting with it as though it's an enemy. So I know that this might seem kind of convoluted, so the metaphor that I want to give you is this. I want you to think of the person in your life that is the most put together, okay? That you totally have seen them go through hard times, go through, struggles and trials and tribulations, and you have watched them come out the other side and just like totally handle it and come out the other side just like a more empowered, more knowledgeable, more understanding of themselves human being, right? Like your most capable friend. That anytime they come to you with a problem, you are not sitting there worrying how they're going to get through it, right? That you can just sit there and be like, yes, my most capable friend, who is totally awesome. I've watched you struggle before, and you always come out the other side a better, brighter, shinier version of yourself. You always figure it out. You are just having this experience of kind of like, going through this thing, forgetting who you are, and you will come out the other side remembering who you are and a much brighter version of yourself, right? And so you just sit there with this friend and you allow them to rant about whatever their problem is. You let them kind of like get everything off their chest and tell you all their problems and blah, 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 blah. And by the end of the conversation, they're like, okay, I know what I need to do, right? They take responsibility for themselves. They take responsibility for what they've done. And they're just like, okay, I know who I am. I know what I need to do. And I'm just going to go and do that thing, right? And all you had to do was sit there and essentially give them a container to express all their humanity, right? So maybe they're like really mad at this person. They're like say they're super mad at their partner or something. It's like, my partner's so stupid. Why does he have to do this? Blah, blah, blah. And by the end of the conversation, like, yeah, okay, I see how my role in this is this, and this is actually me just projecting onto my partner, and it's not his fault, or this is just something we need to talk about. It's really not that big dramatic thing, and da 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 da. And they come out the other side and they just know what to do, and they go and make up with their partner, right? That is the perfect example of someone fully embracing their humanity, fully embracing what's going on with them and expressing it. And because of that expression, so because this person wasn't fighting with it and telling myself, well, I shouldn't feel bad about this and I shouldn't feel angry and I shouldn't hate him and blah, 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 they just let themselves go, right? They let themselves rant, they let themselves be mean, they let themselves say all the things they need to say. And then on the other side of that, because no one was rejecting that person, you weren't rejecting them because you weren't expecting them to need fixing. You see them as capable and awesome, and you know that they're going to figure it out, so you're just holding space for them. And they know that they can just vent it to you because they trust you because you're their best friend, and they're just sharing all of this with you. And on the other side, they remember who they are. They have a deeper understanding of who they are. They don't want to go out and project it all over their boyfriend anymore. They want to go out and they just want to make the situation good for everybody because she's returned to her view of herself as love and to her view of her partner as love. And she's no longer feeling threatened. She's in a state of love. And then she goes out and acts like that. And this is because she did not reject her humanity. So and another way to look at this is like, those kind of like really nerdy or like weird like memes on the internet that teenage girls post that say, if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And I think that this is something we need to look at and understand as truth. That your highest divinity is so entangled with your humanity that, as I say, there is no separation. And I want you to start thinking of it this way. That as you learn to embrace your deepest humanity, so not in a way where you go out and you say, okay, my deepest humanity is true and correct, and so when I want to punch someone in the face, I should. Or when I want to, take a bat to someone's car, that I should. Or when I want to, yell at someone and tell them how terrible they are, that I should. what we say is, you look at that part of yourself and you say, okay, this is a part of my divinity that is now expressing as shadow because I have rejected it. Okay? This is a part of who I am that has been rejected. And because of that, it didn't go away. It just has started expressing itself as shadow. Okay? So that, for instance, that part of you that really is just super judgmental and hates everybody is probably a part of your discernment. Knowing, okay, this is my path, this is not my path. This is what's right for me, this is not what's not right for me. And instead of allowing yourself to be the individual that says, okay, it's awesome that these people are doing this thing, but I don't want to do that, you said, well, no, I can't judge other people. I'm not allowed to judge what other people are doing. I'm not allowed to say that other people are wrong. I'm not allowed to use my own discernment because I can't trust myself because I'm mostly human and not divine. So I've repressed this part of myself that comes with the GPS that says, it's cool that those people are doing that thing, that's not my thing. And you say, okay, no, I'm not allowed to judge anyone. And then because of that, you turn into the most judgmental person ever, right? Because you're suppressing your discernment, and then it's going to turn into judgment, okay? So the second you start expressing your judgment in a safe place, like, okay, I think these people are idiots, I think this is stupid, I think that's retarded, blah, 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 and you let yourself vent, like in a journal or to a best friend or something like this, without trying to fix yourself, and without trying to tell yourself, I shouldn't be judging, and I shouldn't be mean, and I shouldn't be saying these things, and blah, 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 blah. You just let yourself go off. At the end of it, you're going to come to a place where you don't feel so scared anymore because you've accepted yourself, right? You've allowed yourself to feel how you feel. You've allowed yourself to think what you think. And on the other side of that, when you don't tell yourself that you shouldn't, you're going to be like, okay, it's okay that they do that. They're allowed to do their thing, and I'm going to do my thing. And then, if you're really trusting yourself to be fully in your divinity, what's going to happen is, if there really is something about what other people are doing that is harmful to other people, and there's something that you can practically do about that to alleviate suffering for them or for other people, that's going to become clear to you. You're not just going to be sitting there complaining about them and hating them, or trying to hate yourself for hating them, or blah, 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 blah. You're going to come out the other side with a practical understanding of like, okay, maybe I need to say this to this person, or do this, or I have something that I can do here in this situation where I'm seeing this injustice and it's bothering me. So you see what I'm saying? It's not about like being peaceful all the time. If you see an injustice and it bothers you, that again is a part of your divinity. So allow yourself to express all of your humanity about it, right? Your judgments and blah, 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 blah. And then allow yourself to come to the other side where your divinity can take over and say, okay, from this place of love and from this place of empowerment that I'm not a bad person and I'm not wrong and I'm allowed to feel how I feel, you're going to feel safe. And then you're going to say, maybe I can go and I can speak to these people, and I can say something, and I can do something, and I can start a foundation or whatever. You're going to be inspired to live as your higher self the more you embrace your humanity. So this is the thing. They are one and the same. So the more you fight your humanity, the more you tell yourself you shouldn't feel how you feel, you shouldn't do what you do, da 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 da, all that happens is you self-destruct more, you outwardly destruct more, and you fight your divinity because they are one and the same. The more you embrace your humanity in safe and loving ways, allowing yourself to express verbally in your journal, whatever, don't tell yourself you shouldn't feel how you feel, you're going to come out the other side seeing yourself in your light. Because that's what it is. You're going to come out the other side realizing you've suppressed a part of yourself that is really important and that needs expressing. And that as you express it, it comes out as divinity rather than coming out as shadow, which is what happens when you suppress yourself. Because here's the thing. No one's ever actually been able to suppress their evil nature. What happens is you perceive yourself to have an evil nature, you suppress it, and it comes out even worse. When you embrace your evil nature and start to see it for what it really is, a part of you that needs expressing, it will all of a sudden transform itself back into the light it's always been. And sometimes that means you do action to get rid of something. Sometimes that means you are righteously angry about something, and that inspires you to act. It's not about saying that divinity is only happiness and peace, because this world is going to need some rebels. This world is going to need some people that get upset about stuff and do something about it. But if you're continuously telling yourself you shouldn't feel how you feel, you're never going to step into the place where you're empowered to do what you need to do here on the planet. Okay? Your humanity is your divinity. There is no separation. You just suppress your divinity enough, it comes out as shadow. That's all that this is. So stop suppressing your shadow. Start to express it, not project it. So don't go out and beat someone up. Don't go tell someone they're a piece of shit. Go tell a friend that you think someone is a piece of shit. And let yourself rant and rant and rant and rant and rant until you don't want to rant anymore. And you will come out the other side seeing something clearly. Okay? Stop projecting your humanity, because it is your divinity. You will only ever live as your divinity as you accept and love and embrace your humanity. And then allow it to turn back into what it's always been, which is your divinity. Okay? So basically the practical thing is, go and express what you're feeling. Go and express what you're thinking. All these deep, dark, ugly things that you think are there. Go and express them in a safe place. Get a therapist, get a journal, get a friend. Express, 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 express. And see what happens. See what revelations come. See what you turn into. See what you become empowered to do. And from that place, go do it. Okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Be radical. Just be rebellious. Rebel from society that tells you that there's something wrong with you, because there isn't. Rebel from all the systems at play that tell you that there's a part of you that's evil, because there isn't. Embrace yourself. Be a rebel by fully embracing who you are, and watch what happens. This is the new paradigm. It is unity consciousness. We are done playing in duality. You need to get over it. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? So find me on Facebook, Perceptive Trainers, Instagram, ally_Perceptive Trainers, join Patreon down below, and I will see you in the next video.